If you've ever felt like you've given up on losing weight, I understand. I've been there, and I want to say the last 3 years, I had completely given up on myself and the idea of me being healthy or losing weight. This is me trying to share what I pushed through to get to where I am now and how I'm almost 100 pounds down. This is what ended up happening. I had always heard about Mounjaro and bariatric surgery, and I decided that I was going to give it a shot because I was worth it. Not just because I was worth it, but because my family deserves for me to be here longer. I had heard about bariatric surgery, and I had even looked into it many years before. And it was something that I thought was a cheat. The same as when I first heard about GLP-1s, I thought those were cheats. Now I understand that these are tools that can or can't work for certain people, and that you still have to apply yourself to a weight loss journey. Let me tell you how. So about a year and a half ago, I really felt stuck. I was to the point that I wasn't losing any weight. I was not fitting in theater seats. Office chairs were coming up and rubbing on my thighs. I wasn't even buying clothes anymore. I had really thought that this was it. This was what I was supposed to be, an overweight person for the rest of my life. And then I started to realize that my health was quickly going in the wrong direction. My blood work started coming back as me being diabetic. My cholesterol started going up. And so I started realizing that this was not what was going to work for me if I wanted to be around for my family. So I started looking into GLP-1s. And so luckily through my insurance, there was a program that would help you get GLP-1s, especially if you were like me, that you were hitting the diabetic danger zone. My AC1 was at a 7.1. So that became even scarier. So I decided to go ahead and to try out the GLP-1, not just to lower my AC1, but also to see if I can get some weight loss, because obviously things happen and one could affect another. Now I had heard of all these people who were going on GLP-1s and just dropping massive amounts of weight. That wasn't going to be me. I didn't. I lost maybe 10-15 pounds. And so that was at December 2023. I weighed myself and I was at 281.5, and that's when I started with the GLP-1. I lost 10-15 pounds, and then of course the mindset comes in of, why is everybody else talking about dropping, huge numbers after starting them, and you're not one of them? So of course then the voices that come into you when you're someone like me who's been doing weight loss diets or trying to figure out how to get her system to lose weight. So, all the weight loss programs, all the weight loss books, all the fad diets, done them all, tried them all, would lose some weight, but then, once I ate back to normal, I would gain it all back. The GLP-1 was a disappointment for me, and it brought down my AC1. So for that aspect, I'm forever thankful for that medication. But then I really started to still see plateaus. So I ended up in the emergency room with a need to remove my gallbladder. When they removed my gallbladder, I decided to look into bariatric surgery again. And at that point, it was because I realized that these were just tools. Nothing was going to make me lose weight if I didn't start changing my mindset and changing my lifestyle habits. So again, forever thankful for that. So I decided to start looking into bariatric surgery. I've always gone to therapy. So I had plenty of records for my therapy portion of the program. My therapist filled up the information. I had all my blood work, of course. I had my emergency room blood work. So I was really getting ready for this and talking to my surgeons, talking to a nutritionist. I decided to go ahead and do it. So July 23rd, 2024, I went in with bariatric surgery and I was at 247, my surgery date. At that point, I had lost by itself about 40-ish pounds, or less than 40, so 30 something. So I was really excited about that. With that, I did start having the weight loss, and it's because I started tracking my food. I started walking, I started doing different things. But then the biggest one again is I realized it was just a tool. After surgery, now I'm at 6 months from the beginning of my journey, almost 100 pounds. I'm down to 189.4. So I'm super excited about that number. It's 189.4. I don't have my notes. It's here. And I've also put up here my metrics or my measurements. So now the weight loss, it's great, it's fantastic. I'll tell you what's better. I've been able to walk a 5K in 2023. I had to stop walking because everything hurt so bad. We used to like doing charity walks, couldn't do them. It hurt too much and I couldn't keep up. Now I was able to do a 5K walk in 2024. I can fit into office chairs with a little bit of room, which is fantastic. I can shop out of the regular rack. The other thing that is great is my numbers are coming down. That is the most exciting thing for me because that actually gives me hope that I'm going to be around for longer. This is what these tools are for. It wasn't easy. I will tell you the truth. I hit a plateau about 3 months in. And again, I had to go into a mindset of this is a tool. This isn't showing a reflective of me as a person of losing weight. People that had the surgery at the same time I did were dropping huge numbers and I wasn't. I want to say at my 3-month check-in, I probably had only lost, and I know you're hearing only, but when you start looking into people who have bariatric surgery and you hear what they've lost in 3 months, some of those numbers are pretty wild. I had only lost 15 pounds. 3 months post-op of a 4-ounce stomach, I had only lost 15 pounds. Of course, went right to my surgeon, like, what's going on? What's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? And, of course, they give you the pat, weight loss isn't a straight line. It's slow and you go through the stairs, you'll go up and you'll gain and you'll get plateau. But I really was worried because really this isn't working. And then I was like, okay, I took a step back. You'll notice that that's kind of when I dropped off from my channel. And then I realized that I was going to have to start going back to what I was like at the beginning of trying to have my surgery. I was going to have to track my food. I was going to have to go back to the 80-20. So 80-20, if you guys don't know, 80% of it is healthy, nutritious meals where I really focus on my macros, and 20% are treats. Now I've learned that I can focus my macros on the treats and on the healthy portion of that so that they kind of coincide, but I still want McDonald's. I still would want a taco or to go out to eat to dinner at a restaurant and, have a greasy something. So that's my 20. So that has always worked for me, or has started working for me very well. And that's what started working for me at the beginning of this weight loss. I also started to realize that cutting calories isn't 1,000% the way to go. Again, I'm an 80s girl. I was born in 73. So I grew up in the mindset of the cabbage soup diet where your calories drop like crazy. What's the other one? Well, you guys know all those diets where you eat 1,200 calories and under. But guess what? Not everybody has to hit those calorie goals. Some people need to eat more in order to lose weight. And so this whole thing has been a real big experience for me. And it's not that the other diets necessarily were bad, with the exception of the cabbage soup diet, but it's that they weren't meant for me. They weren't the tools that I needed to lose the weight. So I needed to learn that high protein is the way for me to go. So watch your calories. That's something you have to track as well so that you can find your sweet spot of losing weight and not feeling bad, or losing weight and not feeling like you're not eating enough. The other one was fitness. So I've been practicing yoga. I've been practicing movement. If I'm on a break, I go for a walk. If I'm on lunch, I have a sit down desk job. So during my lunch, if I can, I go for a walk if I'm not eating. But those are the things that work for me. That was one of the other things I had to do. And of course, with my mindset, you guys already know that I had to reevaluate how I was looking at food and how I was looking at these tools. And I had to give myself grace, which is probably one of the harder things. I had to stop thinking that I'm going to go on a GLP-1 and lose 150 pounds. I'm going to have bariatric surgery and I'm going to drop 100 pounds in the first 3 months like everybody else does. That wasn't my journey. That wasn't what my body needed or my body wanted or my body was going to do. So we had to change that up. I'm a big believer in goals. And so my goals now are to continue the 80-20. I need to start really honing in on tracking better. I don't track as well as I should be. So I do want to start focusing on tracking. When I hit my plateau, I started tracking everything. And that's when I realized I wasn't eating enough and that I definitely wasn't having enough protein. So I went back and I redid my menus and I redid how I was eating, and it started to help. With my other mindset shift is I give myself grace to do something 2 or 3 times a week for 30 days, and then I'll increase it. With that, what I mean is if I don't track 100% during the week, I'm not going to say, oh, well, I'm just not going to track anymore. Forget it. What I'll do is I'll look at it, because that's so discouraging for me. And again, this is just me. What I'll do is I'll say, okay, for this month, I'm going to track 2 or 3 times a week. And then once I hit that 2 or 3 times where it becomes a habit and I don't think about it, I'll bump it up. I'm gonna do the same thing with weight training. So I need to start weight training, because even my doctor was like, your skin's getting a little saggy, and you know, yoga's great, but you're not doing, I'm not doing the yoga that's like, you know, muscle gain or lean muscle. I'm doing the really relax and meditate yoga. So, you know, that's some of the things that I have to change. So with all of that, am I going to start going out and pumping iron and be like, yeah, I got 40 pounds? No, that's not what my journey is going to be. I'm probably going to start doing body training, and that's just where you know, it's like old school training. It's where you do like push-ups and you're basically using your own body as weights. So once I get to the point that I can hold my own body and I could be good in my own body, then I'll go back to trying to pump weights, because me trying to do it, I did like 1 set and I was already feeling like my arm was going to collapse underneath me. So again, mindset. I have to figure out what works for me. I'm curious what you guys are doing. What do you struggle with? Is it the weight training? Is it food planning? Are you like me, that you're like suffering with all of this and you're just trying to find your own lane? So with all that being said, now you know that progress isn't perfect. Plateaus are a real thing. Gaining some weight is a real thing. And just trying to figure out the comfort of your own body is a real thing. So what's next for me? So now my goal is really, I want to hit that 100-pound mark. So that's what I'm working towards, because I'm going to start doing body weight training or body training. I'm hoping that I gain some muscle. So I don't expect to lose as much next week as I did this week. And that's just because I'm hoping to gain muscle. That's what my main focus is right now is, you know, I'm not going to worry so much about those numbers. I would love to hit 100. Don't get me wrong. That's going to be my next plateau and I'm super excited. But I'm more excited to kind of try to get more tone and more definition in my body. My other goal is I want to do a 5K run. Like a real actual run, not like a sprint run, but just to be able to get to a run is going to be my goal. So that's my main goal for my exercise. And of course my food and everything else is kind of going to be just tweaking out the perks and working out the same. One of the things I wanted to let you guys know is when I worked out at home with the weight training, I was looking and I was feeling myself, because I was wearing leggings that I hadn't worn in a long time because they didn't fit. And I was feeling myself and I went to go take a picture. Lord, let me tell you, when I saw my butt in that mirror, I almost died. I'm not saying I had the greatest bum of the world or even top 20, but it was okay. My bum is now flat. It's not even flat. It's a concave. It's so gone that I actually started to wonder if those 90 something pounds that I've lost are in just my rear end. It's, you guys, so let me give you another weight loss thing. I don't know about you, and let me know in the comments if this is you too. But so the weight in my butt was a real thing. That shocked me. The other shocker was that I was wearing a bra and I hugged my daughter and she was like, oh mom, I felt the gap, y'all, between my boob and the bra that I was wearing. Where do you go from there? Where do you go from there? What do you say to that? There's a gap in your bra. So what I've learned is not only is weight loss everything that I've told you guys previously, but on top of all that, you don't know where you're going to lose it from. I'm going to pretend that all that weight is not gone just from my boobs and my butt, but from everywhere else. But honestly, now all I'm thinking about is I've really lost the majority of it between these two areas and I don't like it and I don't want it. And I'm happy that I lost it, but it's hard. So let me know, are you guys losing weight anywhere else? Men, please tell me, if you're watching this, where do you lose the weight from? What does it hurt you from somewhere? Because for women, this is a real thing. So I'll be documenting all my ups and downs here and on my Instagram. So make sure that you guys are following. Let me know what you want to see more of. I've done some filming of me prepping food. I plan on doing some workout ones to kind of show you what I'm doing. Or are you guys looking for like self-care tips? So let me know what you guys are thinking or what you guys want to know or what you guys want to see. And if you have any suggestions or any tips, tricks, let me know as well, because as a community, you never know what golden nugget someone's going to give you. So that being said, if you are on a weight loss journey, just know that you can do it. You just have to find the right tools. You just have to find the right plan. Keep trying. I'm so happy I didn't give up. If I would have given up, I don't think I would be the person I am right now. I was really depressed and not feeling anything. So this is definitely an improvement on me. Cheers, and here's to your health.